moved into quite a bit smaller place. So, this is my box. It's got a, I'm not sure what this is. It might be in my, it's one of the Renaissance paintings on the cover. Never bothered to research who it was by. I probably need to do that. This is a cute little tarot deck, got from the dollar store. Actually, a friend of mine gave it to me. They got it from the dollar store and they gave it to me. It's just a really cute little deck, and I've been playing with it. And it also has the game in this deck. So what that's really cool about this deck is that the original game that tarot started out, if you know your tarot history, tarot started out as a card playing game, kind of like poker or whatever. This has the game in it as well, and it tells you how to play the game, the original game. So, okay. Set that over there. This is my cauldron. So instead of getting like a traditional witch's cauldron, I found this cast iron skillet at a garage sale. And it's actually like an omelet skillet, and it's cast iron. It weighs a ton. So this is what I use as my cauldron. I like it because it's got a handle on it. I probably could re-cleanse this or re-season it if I wanted to. Which, if it was larger, I would. But it's so small that I'm not gonna really cook in this. So. It makes a really nice cauldron, and that is my smudge stick that I've got in there, plus with some acorns that I picked up off the ground, and then my homemade incense that I made. So that's that. I do need to dump my holy ash. Sometimes I keep my holy ash and I keep it for some heavy duty spell work. But okay, so that's that. And this is a cigar box that belonged to my Uncle Dion. And in here, I have more crystals. So, and an obsidian blade. This is an obsidian knife. This was also a gift from a friend of mine. So, and this is a cigar box. I've got 4 things of hematite. This is the good magnetic hematite. These are known as the zingers. These right here. So when you toss them in the air, they make a sound. More magnetic hematite, and then that's a piece of jade on a keychain. Yep. And so this is just my stones. It's kind of messy in here. So I just kind of tossed him in here. And then I got a little bitty Buddha. I might put him back on my altar. So, and a little incense holder. And, so just kind of my stones. This is a, I think this is a walnut. I'm not really sure what this is. I think it's a nut of some kind. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's used in spell work. And a lot of the hoodoo work. So maybe if you guys hoodoo people out there know what that is, let me know. And I might have to make a 5th video just to get to the books, because this is just the stuff that's in front of the books. So yeah, so these are my stones. More and more of my stones. So I need to clean this out. Okay. Now we're on to my books. On the bottom shelf. Side. Alright, so we'll start over here, the big books. The only astrology book you'll ever need that pretty much sums up the point. I've got the new version with the interactive CD-ROM. There's the CD-ROM. I've got all these astrology books, and I haven't really started studying it yet, so I've just kind of breezed through it. Like, I've read Linda Goodman's Sun Signs, and I've read a couple of other things, but I haven't in-depthly studied astrology yet. I keep getting pulled in other directions. So, that's that. I'm just going to stick that back in there. Well, no. It's going to take too long. Magical grimoires and the classic texts of the Deciphered. So, this is more high magic, like Hebrew, heavy duty stuff like that. Medieval magic, things of that nature. So this is much more of the occult stuff. Pop Goes the Witch, Disinformation Guide of the 21st Century Witchcraft by Fiona Horn, or edited by Fiona Horn. Not a big fan of this book. Think it's a lot of foo-foo, fluff, and inaccurate information. I actually sat and watched all of Mad House, and I actually generally liked Mad House, and Kiwi is my favorite person on Mad House. And when I first started watching Mad House, I did like her, and then as I watched the rest of the series, I started to really dislike her. I felt like she was, hi, newbie. Not as deep as she thought that she was. So she thought that she was deep and magical and powerful and had these abilities and whatnot, and then I mean, she was very obviously in the show being manipulated by one of the people in the show, and she totally fell for it. Which, I mean, anybody can. So that's not to say that you can be a deep and spiritual person and not be easily manipulated, but it just seeing that really made me question her. So, Nostradamus 2000. Again, I got this clearance secondhand. I just thought it was interesting. I flipped through it, read a couple of different things here and there. This giant book, Personology, the Precision Approach to Charting Your Life, Career, and Relationships. So this book is kind of like astrology, numerology, all of that stuff kind of rolled into one. I believe this was also a clearance find at Barnes & Noble or Borders or something like that. So, Rocks and Minerals. This was also in my crystal recommendations videos. And this is just, again, this was definitely a clearance find. You can kind of tell because of the white with the blue border. That should tell you. And then it has that kind of cardboardy paper. This is just good basic geological information with pretty pictures. Uncle Becky's Big Blue Book. That, yeah. That should be, pretty much, and this, because I bought it used, this is the original version, not the updated version. There's a big reason for that, actually, because they took some of the information out of the updated version. So, Halloween by Sylvan Ravenwolf. This is the only Sylvan Ravenwolf book I own. I have read To Ride a Silver Broomstick. The only thing I got out of that book was the concept of that she does was she layers the tarot cards for her readings. And I do that as well. The rest of the book was like information I already knew, and it didn't really, it was just basic information you can get out of any beginner witchcraft book. So this book, again, I don't like the instant witch stuff, which is like where they've got the spells in the book. Not interested in that. But she does have some interesting recipes, like the tuna goals, where you make like a tuna sandwich, basically. And toasted pumpkin seeds. So it's got like recipes and things in there, and some she did some pretty decent research on the traditions of Samhain and like historically accurate information on that. So, you know, it's got custom spells, recipes. The customs and recipes I'm interested in. The spells, I don't like other people's pre-written spells, to be honest. Usually I can't stand them. Yeah, pretty much. Doesn't work for me. Gotta write my own. So, because I study high magic, I've got Kabbalah for Dummies. If you want to get into high magic, you gotta understand the Kabbalah, and well, this was pretty much a basic way of doing that. So, I have read this. There's my bookmark. Oh, this is my French Quarter bookmark. I have been looking for that. So, secondhand bookstallers, French Quarter, 40 years. So, I really love me some used bookstores. So, yeah. So, this is the basic Jewish mystical system with the K, not the Q, which is the ceremonial system. But you got to start somewhere. So, this, with the Q, they stole all their stuff with the K. Moon Magic by DJ Conroy. So for an author that I'm not a big fan of, I have a lot of her books. This is another book of hers that I do like, though. This one and the Animal Magic are probably the two of hers that I like. You just gotta realize that it's DJ Conroy and that she has her own way of doing things that I'm not a big fan of. She's kind of a lot like Sylvan Ravenwolf in her writing. If that gives you a reason, helps you understand why I'm not a big fan of her. Another hand fasting book. Hand fasting and wedding rituals. So, there's that. This is another kind of high magic book, A Magician's Craft Creating Magical Tools. So this tells you, in high magic, you have to have kind of a lot of, not necessarily, but if you want to do a full Gnostic Mass, you have to have certain tools to do that. And so this kind of tells you how to make them. So like there's a Gnostic Mask layout right there. Or an example of something similar, I should say. Because I don't know exactly for sure. That's the full layout. So any of you guys that do Thelma and all of that, don't yell at me if this is not accurate, because I just kind of saw that and was like, hey, it's kind of what I'm talking about. So, again, I've studied this stuff, but only at a shallow level. I haven't deeply studied a lot of this yet, because I keep getting sidetracked. The best crystal book ever is Love is in the Earth by by Melody. This book, this was actually the store copy of the store that I used to work in. This was so it's really beat up because we used it in the store. There are no pictures in this book. You really got to know your shebang to use this book, but this book is amazing. It's I don't even know how to explain it. This is the textbook for working with crystals. If you do not use this book or have not read this book and you work with crystals, then you need to get this freaking book. So, period. The New Astrology. I actually really, really like this book, and it is crazy accurate. This book deals with mixing Chinese astrology and Western astrology, and it's scary accurate. So, Giant Book of Magic. Everyday practical magic from around the world, gypsy love cards, casting runes, the I Ching, Native American medicine wheels, and much more. This is a heavy-duty book. It's pretty heavy-duty. I've read sections of this. I have not read it from cover to cover. Okay. And the Witch's Bible, because you would not be a genuine witch if you did not have the Witch's Bible. And this is, as you can see, this is very different. This is the one by Janet and Stuart Farr, not that one. And there was actually a big argument between these people and those people back in the day when it was first written. It's pretty funny. Alright. So I have that much to go through, and I'm gonna have to do it in another video because this is like 30 minutes already, and it's like crazy. So I'm gonna do another video. All right, see you in a minute.